Find your real strength, a wisdom story. In a small village surrounded by fields of wheat and dusty paths lived a young man named Ayaan. From the outside, Ayaan seemed ordinary, thin, quiet, and often overlooked. He was not the strongest in body, not the smartest in school, and not the bravest among his friends. Many believed he would live a simple life and disappear into routine, just like the unpaved road that led out of the village. But inside Ayaan lived a question that never left him. What is my real strength? Growing up, Ayaan constantly compared himself to others. His cousin was known for his physical power, lifting heavy loads at the market. His best friend was praised for quick thinking and clever answers. Another boy gained respect through confidence and loud words. Wherever Ayaan looked, someone else seemed stronger than him in every way. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky orange, Ayaan visited an old man named Hakim, who lived near the edge of the village. People said Hakim had seen much of life and understood things others could not. Ayaan sat beside him and finally asked, "Everyone talks about strength. Some say it is muscles, others say it is intelligence or courage. I have none of these. How do I find my real strength?" Hakim smiled gently and handed Ayaan a small clay pot filled with water. "Walk with me," the old man said. They walked toward the fields until they reached a narrow bridge over a stream. Hakim asked Ayaan to hold the pot carefully and cross the bridge. Halfway across, the wind picked up. The bridge shook slightly. Ayaan's hands trembled, and some water spilled from the pot. "I failed," Ayaan said sadly. "I couldn't even carry water." Hakim shook his head. "Look again." Ayaan looked into the pot. Though some water had spilled, most of it remained. "You were scared," Hakim said, "but you didn't drop the pot. You adjusted your steps. You kept going." They returned to the village. The next day, Hakim gave Ayaan a new task. He asked him to help a farmer whose crops had failed. Ayaan spent hours listening to the farmer's worries, helping him plan small changes for the next season. The farmer thanked him with tears in his eyes. Days turned into weeks. Each day, Hakim gave Ayaan a different challenge, not to test his body but his patience, honesty, and persistence. Sometimes Ayaan failed, sometimes he succeeded, but one thing was constant: he never gave up. One afternoon, Ayaan asked, "Why do these tasks feel harder than lifting heavy weights?" Hakim replied, "Because lifting yourself after disappointment is harder than lifting stone." Then came the day when a terrible storm hit the village. Roofs were damaged, crops destroyed, and fear spread among the people. Strong men tried to rebuild but argued with one another. Clever men made plans but waited for perfect conditions. Ayaan did not shout or command. He moved quietly from house to house, helping one person at a time. He listened, he encouraged, he worked without expecting praise. When people felt tired, his calm presence kept them going. By the end of the week, the village slowly stood back on its feet. Someone said, "Ayaan is strong." Ayaan was surprised. He didn't feel strong in the way others once did. He felt tired, but fulfilled. He went to Hakim and said, "Now I understand. Strength isn't about overpowering others. It's about standing firm when things shake." Hakim nodded. Real strength is not loud. It does not need applause. It is the ability to continue with integrity when no one is watching. Years later, Ayaan became a guide for others, not because he was the strongest or the smartest, but because he had learned something rare. True strength comes from resilience, kindness, and the courage to keep going despite fear. And the question that once haunted him no longer needed an answer, because he was living it. Moral of the story: your real strength is not what you show the world. It is what carries you through silence, failure, and uncertainty.